taking care of yourself in a relationship can not only benefit you individually, but I think sometimes people or coupled, man or woman, can forget to take care of themselves in the relationship for the relationship. People don't look at it that way all the time. It's, you know, yep, we need our individual care. I mean, because we taking care of kids all day, we taking care of the house, whatever. And then don't add business or work on to it. Then that's you going all night. Sometimes you last person up, kind of, finish up and do everything. But I feel like too, some people, some couples, whether it's married, dating, whatever it is, and wherever this relationship is going for you, some people forget to actually take care of themselves to keep the relationship going, to better themselves for and in the relationship. And I think that happens on both sides. 'Cause just to hear people sometimes say, we grew apart. How? That still puzzles me today. How did you grow apart when, if, look, when, comma, if you're in this relationship and you are bettering yourself every day, your spouse is bettering themselves every day for the relationship, how did you grow apart?
So I'm thinking past marriage, right?
Mhm.
I think but then it don't really have to do with the self-care as, but I think when people are growing and they're growing in different directions, or one is
Mhm.
growing and one is,
Mhm.
then I could see that grow apart. Like if you don't start with the same goal in mind, then you're
Mhm.
gonna grow different directions.
Yeah. There's some dissection and some past stuff that gotta come up. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
red wine conversation.
Like this. So yeah.
I don't So when it comes to like taking care of myself, I could definitely say when I don't, I'm around here heads and taking names, like get out the way, popping St. John's wort, ashwagandha, red wine, and everything else,
Right.
trying being reactive instead of proactive.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. Same for me too. If I know if I didn't sleep well, um, it's hard for me to even give like the 50% that I'm running on for that day.
Mhm.
But we'll have a choice. Them kids, even though my kid, I don't have young kids, my youngest is 14, but he want to see his mama. He want to be up on his mama. He want to get under his mama. Whatever they got something to say. They want to talk about something. And then that husband, he want to be under his. So you still gotta give from that 50%. Um, and so that, I mean, it's crazy to say, but a lot of us operate in that kind of chaos a lot because we are quick to put everything before what we need to do for us sometimes. And even if we are, because I've been in a space where I'm good. I'm 100%. I slept good. I'm exercising good. I'm eating right. I'm this and that. But I can still put kids, husband, other priorities before myself. Even if I'm at 100%, still don't mean it ain't wearing me down. It's not affecting me because even that 100% is just not for me. It is not
Mhm.
all for me. It's for something or somebody else. And so how do you when you are feeling your best, how do you maintain, or is it even possible to maintain that 100% for yourself? Because it ain't just you.
Right?
Not you, not being a mom, not being a kid, not being a friend, not being a
Yeah.
sister, not being, business owner or somebody that go to work every day or whatever, how do you maintain this?
I stopped trying to achieve balance in life because I realized different aspects of my life gonna need more attention on different days. Because
Yep.
when I was trying to balance everything, give everything, put everything on an equal level, I found myself more stressed because at the
Yep.
end of the day, I'm like, I failed. I didn't do this,
Yep.
this, and this.
Yeah.
So the one thing when it comes to taking care of myself, because yeah, I have a checklist of things ideally I could do
Hmm.
for my self-care or my well-being that'll make me a better wife and mom and all the things. But a lot of times I don't have time to deal. Okay, but let's see. Did you meditate? Did you journal? You know, like it's a check off
Right.
list. I said 2025 is not the year I'm gonna be hard on myself. It,
Yes.
I should in the middle of the day and take a bath. So that
Hmm.
afternoon bath is what to other people would be like an afternoon walk or afternoon meditation or whatever. Because
Hmm.
guess what? When I'm in the tub, I can't do anything. And then
Yeah.
having the girls at home, I set that up as quiet time. I zone out in the tub. And I don't know, like for me, it helps me reset. And at first I was like, oh, that's just me trying to escape. But then I started to realize that one action makes me feel like I'm doing something for myself.
That's
When
cool.
I
Yep.
don't do that at the end of the day, and I be wanting to run away because I feel like I'm
Yeah.
giving everything to even the damn dogs.
Yeah. 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 Hmm.
So that is the one thing that I could do every day. I ain't gotta go nowhere.
Hmm.
I think people have to be realistic in not realistic, but find what works for them.
Yeah.
And that is the one
Yeah.
thing that I if I start spiraling, I'ma continue spiraling. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of these kids, these dogs. Just like I feel like I can't breathe because I hadn't had a moment for me.
'Cause to just not, yep. And it definitely make a big difference. When I was coaching heavy, I used to tell people they used to ask about self-care. And the number one thing I used to say was self-care is whatever you need at that moment. Because it don't necessarily have to be, like you said, going to the spa, going to get a massage. Everybody don't have that option.
Yeah.
To leave out of the house. They may have little kids. They may not even have the funds to do so. So, like you said, simply taking a bath is a time for you to be able to get whatever that bath does and whatever it means to you while you're in that bath. That's something that somebody can do. It doesn't necessarily have to mean, you know, spending spending a dime. So
Because the whole idea is not necessarily to bathe, but
yeah.
I'm creating, water has healing properties
Hmm.
anyway.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Some, so that's
That's
what
your
works.
time. That could be your meditation time, or it can be seen as your meditation time or your quiet time, whether you meditate or be quiet in there or not.
I be watching
You
people's
know.
court.
So then what they really is uninterrupted time to watch a show, y'all.
I could turn my brain off and you don't
Yeah.
get that chance all the time to like turn your brain off.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I found. And it's crazy. Something as simple as that keep me from biting everybody head off. You could end up resenting the people
Hmm.
that you care about.
That you care about the most. Yeah. If you don't get that time to not talk. And that used to be another big thing I used to teach in coaching in my 10-day detox. One of them, day number 5 was talk less. And however you can do that. And so, I mean, the kids and my husband, they knew when I was doing that detox or when I was promoting it out there. And I'm in here doing day number 5. Hard. I'm not talking. I'm not talking on anything. I'm barely talking. Yeah. It was a major. And so that taught them. That taught them how to do that as well. So they went into their space and it was just them for them. I mean, however long you needed to do it, but I did it so much. I did that detox for so long that yeah, it's straight in my house. We don't have to talk all the time.
I
For the whole day,
not the whole day. Okay. So is this about me talking less or about other people talking to me less? I need to hear
it's
more.
about you. It's about you talking less. But what you do, of course, you're explaining to others that this is a part of a detox that you're doing. And so on this day, day number 5, I'm not talking on the phone like maybe I did yesterday on day 4 because I can talk. I can talk on day 4, but today, day 5, I'm not talking on the phone. I'm not really active on social media. I may be on social media, but I'm not commenting. I'm not, none of that kind of stuff. I'm not emailing. You're taking the time to just literally save your vocal cords on this day.
Okay, so you on day 5 today?
I'm not on day 5 today. I'm not doing the detox today. No. I'm not, because I would have broke the rule. Broke the rules. Yeah, no.
So your bestie is a rule breaker, though. I was
Yeah.
been like, detox, girl. We still record.
We done talked all day. Yes or no. I haven't did the detox in a while. I mean, because I don't really coach no more. So,
But
I do still use some of the stuff for myself because I created it. So why not?
what does it help clear?
Like what? Big time. All of the above that you just said. And now I don't have to, because once you've had that practice from it and you do this detox, a couple times, now because just think about it. Okay, mom, or even if it's a dad, I gotta think for me. I gotta think for you. I gotta think. I know when everybody appointments is. I set the appointments. I know when somebody got to go here. I know when I'm thinking for like 10 different people. So on this talk less day, I shouldn't have to think about that. On that day, it shouldn't be a day where I have to take everybody to appointments or I have to answer so many questions or, be this for somebody or be this for somebody. On this day, it's just about me. And if I really don't have nothing to say, I don't have nothing to say. How I can save I can't think of the doggone word. But how I can save me. I can save me for today.
I don't think people really realize that self-care and taking care of yourself is different when you're in a relationship versus you're not.
Yeah. Big time.
So
Big time.
I don't even know if self-care was like a whole thing I had to think about or even did when I was with it not in a relationship. Like, I don't know, single.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's its own form of self-care. At least
It
for
so
me.
is. It so is.
It,
It was one. Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm doing whatever I felt like when I felt like it.
Right.
How I felt like it.
So with that in mind, like I'm just thinking about that, but I ain't been single in forever.
I know.
But remember, like that I had to have specific days for self-care, specific things I had to do, or I don't know.
I know. I don't even recall if I knew self-care was a thing.
I don't know if it was a thing.
I don't think so either.
I
Not back when I was single.
right. Because
Mm-mm.
your whole life was,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
really, that's something to explore for women to think about. Like, if you, what did self care look like when you wasn't in a relationship? Because now in a relationship, you have to I don't want to say explain, but you have to explain. Like, if I'm like, I'm not talking to nobody for the next 24 hours as part of my self care, I can't just say, I just can't be like, okay, Valencia, this was what you're gonna do. I have to let the other people involved in my life know that.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly how it goes. And so that's how when I came up with the detox, um, yeah, I had to explain that. I had to explain it to my kids because of course this was in shoot, I think I did this in like 2016, 2017 when no, it was probably 2016 when I first came up with it. My kids was wait real young then. We still homeschooling everybody, all four of them. So it wasn't no way for me to be like, all right, today I ain't talking and that was gonna fly with somebody. No. So now they understand, as it went on. And then cause like it's a day, I can't remember what day it is, but it's a day without electronics also. So whatever that, I mean, people have so many electronics, but not everybody have every electronic. So whatever that you detoxing from that electronic is, some people can, some people can't, but um, I mean, on that, I feel like if you want to benefit from the detox, you will. Because, how some people like, oh, I can't be without my phone, or I can't, not answer emails or what. Well, if you really want to benefit from the detox, you can.
Yeah.
You just don't want to.
No, so I think a lot of times, kind of going back to even what I said earlier, a lot of times we are reactive instead of
Mhm.
being proactive with our self care. But I think if you
Mhm.
a partner that truly care about you, they'll be okay with you saying, "Hey, I need some space," or I just space in the way of, "Why don't you take the kids and the dog and just let me handle
Mhm.
everything in the house?" Because I've had that, and I found that, and I said this in a video I did the other day, how I used to get offended when Craig would come home after working all day and put the dishes in the dishwasher that were in the sink. This is a everyday thing I would do, as far as like, he would come home and he would start, after dinner, he immediately go to putting stuff in the dishwasher and stuff. And I'm like, what you doing? What you saying? The house dirty? Like, I would take it all the way to the left.
Lord, Lord.
What am I not doing my job? Like, I took it personal
Right.
in a way of my husband is saying I'm not doing what I consider part of my wife things,
Yeah.
versus my husband giving me help that I really needed because I'm
As a
exhausted.
positive. Yeah. You looked at it as a negative instead of a positive.
I
Mhm.
think that come from women we've seen. So I think even with, women these days, especially our age, in their 40s, and you've seen your mama go hard, your grandmother, great grandmother, however, women in your life go hard, go, and go, and
Mhm.
take care of themselves, and then they
Mhm.
end up divorced, unhappy. If you go to their house, it's some arguments or some foolishness, and towards
Yeah.
not the end of their life, but later in life, you see all that stress and lack of self awareness, self care
Yeah. Yeah.
show up in their health.
That's true.
Could be that. you know?
That's true. Yeah. And I think it come too from especially when you have kids, it come from guilt, that mom guilt, that wife guilt, because you thinking, knowing for a fact your body telling you, I'm real. I need rest. I'm this, I'm that. We need to sit down. But you steady and constantly trying to go because you feel like if you sit down, you're not doing everything you're supposed to do. But I think it's from the expectations, like you said, from our moms, grandmothers that we've seen, but we also put those expectations on ourselves too, because it hasn't been no day. Now, me and Donald will be married for 14 years in June. We've been together 17, married 14. It has not ever been a day in this marriage where he has said, you need to do this, you need to have this done, you need to, I expect this to be done. You can't sit. Never. He telling me to sit down. He telling me to rest. He telling me to, this, that, and the other. But I feel like, and this a little bit of transparency right here.
Yeah.
For a very, very long time, I felt like that. It's like whether he home or not. I used to feel like if I sit down and take a nap, that was like, it was almost like I committed a crime if I sat down and took a nap. But I put that on myself. When he come in and see me
He
sleep,
deserve a nap.
yeah, okay. When he come in and see me sleep, he happy. He happy because I'm finally getting some rest. I'm finally getting a break, especially if I'm, migraine, headache, whatever. He's happy I'm actually getting some rest because, I probably didn't sleep good at night. The moment I wake up from that, because it ain't long, my little nap, it don't never be long, because once I realize I'm asleep, I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my God, let me get up. What did I do? What didn't I? My kids are hands grow. Hands grow. It took me so long to get out of feeling guilty about that. And that is crazy. And I know it's so many other moms and wives that go through that same thing. So y'all, I promise. Now it depends on your spouse. Let me be clear. Cause I don't wanna just say do something and you going on in your exactly. So please, I'm not saying that, but if you do have a partner, that's a real partner, that's a true partner, it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue at all for you to get a quick, because literally it'd be like 10 minutes. A 10-minute little something, that I done dozed out, didn't even know I was asleep. But everybody in my house happy that I was able to get that little cat nap in. But I'm the one in here beating myself up,
Yeah. Thinking the
so
house that burnt down because you done dozed off,
because I done dozed out.
even on purpose.
Hey,
We a man, like, why you ain't wake me up? What is going on? The girls need a bath.
yeah,
The deals, and my husband like, I got it. Sleep. And I'm thinking I done been sleep 45 minutes an hour, and it just been like 5, 10 minutes.
yeah.
And one of the things that we know is your body gonna take what it needs.
So live in a minute. In a minute, regardless.
And I wonder
Yeah.
that feeling, because I'm sure some women feel like that just doing stuff for their self. They feeling that mom, wife guilt, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder how much of that for us or for me come from past relationship trauma.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely put yourself last to
Mm-hmm.
burnout mode, and the other person didn't care. And that's just
Yeah.
me speaking from my past relationship experience. So I wasn't used to somebody that cared that I took care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
To where I don't know, it's a word I'm sure for that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Because I share in that same experience. didn't have a never felt dang I can't put the word I know but I feel exactly what you're talking about because never that past marriage
Yeah.
never felt secure enough. I
I
never
need to
felt safe enough
let me throw my
to
mic.
be able to that's never
Drink.
drop the mic. Yeah. Never felt that enough to the point to where I was able to take my shoes off and relax around my house alone. Because if that person was there then and that person was doing that same thing, then oh okay, then I can too. But you here home and you ain't I didn't know what self-care was then in that marriage. I didn't even know the word, self-care. So I don't even know if I
Like there was no self. So I think
hello.
when it comes to women or men, whoever watching, when it comes to taking care of their self while in a relationship, there has to be a realization of self.
Yeah.
Because when you have so many roles, and let's say you are bringing past relationship drama or trauma, I don't want to say bringing it because you
I
don't
hope not.
I didn't bring it into this one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
stuff like kind of childhood stuff may still somewhere be in the back of your head to where you have to
Yeah.
unlearn.
Yeah.
And so I could say from past, I felt like regardless of what I did, it wasn't ever good enough. I had one job, which was to take care of XYZ, ABC, da 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 da, and taking care of all of this. And if I did anything that involved self, then I was selfish. And then the thing is, when I would talk to older women in my life, and they make you feel, I don't say they make you feel, but I was made to feel like something was wrong with me for wanting, and we'll just use the word self-care. If that makes
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
if I wanted to time to go out and breathe or whatever else. And it was like, well, you should feel lucky because you have A, B, C, X, Y, and Z.
So it took me a minute to understand self-care in, in my new marriage because somebody was telling me to take this time off. Go do this. Go enjoy yourself. Go in there and lay down. Go in, wasn't nobody telling me that at first. Again, self-care is self-care is what you need when you need it, no matter what it look like. But you gotta be to me, you gotta be in a space to really okay, let me see how I need to put this. Well, let me ask this question first. And now I know we rapping. Do you have to be in the space that you're in? Do you have to be cared for properly in order to have real self-care? Because if I experience self-care, which like back then, like wasn't no big name, like we said, if I experienced self-care then, because okay, yep, I knew I went out, I was able to go on girls' days and hang out with my friends and all that kind of stuff. I did go to the spa sometimes and whatever, but it was still once I got back home, not that comfortable. Not that, and then now I get back home to where I'm feeling that I'm not cared for. How is that? Is that self-care or is that the space that I'm in at the moment I have to be cared for it to be self-care? Because what self-care is a certain amount of minutes or a certain amount of, what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to get to? I'm going every which way because I can't, it's coming to me fast.
I know what you're saying because I think as you learn self, which your self changes every day.
Mhm.
So your requirements of self-care is different
Mhm.
based on the responsibilities you have and the people you're around.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
I would say your awareness of self as well. Uh in the way of as you start unlearning all the toxic things like putting yourself last and the woman get up first and go to bed last. As you start unlearning that,
Right.
you become more aware of self.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you realize that self needs certain self-care and that self needs certain care from others. That's how I'm thinking because
Mhm.
back
Mhm.
in the day when I was younger, I didn't really know. I don't think I was aware of self because I was too busy putting out fires and doing things.
Mm,
And
mm,
so when
mm.
you get older, you realize all the things that happened or went on when you were younger. When and you realize, hey, I've been shot. Yeah. You take
Yeah.
the band-aid off, you start caring for that, and then you start doing things so you don't get shot again, if that makes sense.
Right. 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 Right.
When I
Right.
was younger, and then too, when you get older, you have different energy, different
Yeah.
patience.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
become less physical and more mental
Mhm. Mhm.
because that physical
Mhm.
you is tired.
It's year. T-I-Y. T-I-Y. Yes.
So, and
Mhm. Oh, child, yeah.
and so,
Yes, indeed.
and I think, just kind of think about when I was younger, and I used to tell the club, "Hello,
Yeah.
I didn't want to be home necessarily. Like it let me zone
Mhm.
out and run from what was wearing me down. So
I
when
see
you
the way
get
you put
older
it.
and when I start, you really get to slow down and you get to know me because now I'm finally comfortable being me.
Me. Yeah.
I wasn't when I was younger, like I knew they had these parts of me, but if you got everybody else telling you, this is weird, this is wrong, blah, blah, and blah, you don't have time to get to know yourself. So I
Right.
think self-care comes from when you start knowing yourself and then you start wanting to take care of that person if that makes sense.
Yeah. Child, so well, Brunel.
'Cause I wasn't dealing with my emotions and how I felt. It was all about
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, get again, I didn't know it was a self-care day, but yeah, I did have some time away, but it was just it still didn't trump um what I had to come back to. And it was because I didn't want to be in that relationship no more, you know. And so that was again, this for another day, y'all. This definitely for another day. But that it is something to think about. Um, while we're talking about self-care in a relationship, because it could clearly still be something, and it is. Yeah, 100%. A lot of people that's still in a relationship like that and don't know what to do for self-care, don't know how to do self-care because you're so busy trying to survive in that relationship that you're in right now. And it make it not it make you feel like there's no care, or because if nobody else is caring for me, then why am I caring for myself? Let me just take care of these kids. Let me just take care of the house.
Yeah.
We kind of go to that thought process a lot. Well, I ain't go so I can drown out this mess that I got with this person. Let me just focus here. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the worst thing to do.
I would say, especially when it comes to women of mature years, let's say 40 and older, you may be on your menopausal journey somewhere. Either way, you're not in your 20s or 30s, or you may be,
Yeah.
but this particular, I would say across the board, recommend therapy first, or therapy as a form of self-care, and
Mhm.
if possible, because you have to start strengthening and becoming aware of yourself, especially when you used to just going and just taking care of everything, whatever. You don't have time to get to know yourself, to know
Mhm.
what that person needs, you know?
Mhm. 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 Because do you fully like, okay, we had kids a good while ago. Do you fully, I mean, do you feel like we fully, or a woman fully can understand who they are during that, during their baby, uh, I guess baby having time or baby making years or whatever? Because I wasn't thinking about who I was trying to feed this child.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, another one came. So now I'm somebody for somebody else.
Yeah.
So now it's two of y'all. And the man.
Great.
Two of y'all hungry and the man. And then 3 years after that, baby, another one came. And then now I'm somebody else for three different people and the man. How in the hell do I know who I am? I'm somebody for somebody else. I've been somebody for somebody else for so long.
So what age group we talking? Because what
Well, okay. Well, we was in the county.
I could say our current age group, because I do have the twins. That's
Mhm. Mhm.
and even my doctor, we the same age, and she got a 4-year-old, 3-year-old
Mhm.
child.
Mhm.
And I forgot, I blanked.
Yeah. Many times we still trying to now,
What?
we still trying to be early.
Because I was a young mom. I had my son when I was 20. It just seems like I never, that was like the number one thing. I gotta feed this, like you said, feed this kid. I gotta go work this job. I gotta do this.
Mhm.
And I think maybe because now too, like self-care is really being talked about. A lot
Mhm.
of women was us in their 20s, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Realizing, damn, I don't have no, I ain't got time to take care of me.
Yeah. Well,
You know, can be the reality. I like that it's being talked about. That
yeah.
might be why
Mhm.
people really don't have healthy relationship these days. And I think part of that is that because self-care is a conversation, and a lot of people are realizing I'm no self-care.
Yeah.
I can't even get 30 minutes to take a bath.
For my
Oh,
son.
and
Mhm.
with with me having the twins, I had to learn, and you helped teach me this, to not try to stick so much to a timeline and what I say Imma do, especially as trying to teach them stuff and still
Mhm.
and for me and not get overwhelmed. Not saying it don't happen,
Yeah.
but you help me get out of my own way as far as being hard on me about sticking to a schedule. And I
Yeah.
say that because I would say that your self-care, self-time, whatever it is, may not be every day. It may not be the same time every day. Sometimes I'm able to get my bath at 12 in the afternoon. Other times it might be 3, 4 o'clock.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
So everybody
Mhm.
have to find that one thing, and it don't have to be something big.
That's right.
And I think if you don't, that's one of the reasons why, like mental health, people, because they're realizing I ain't got time, nothing for self,
Right.
they're realizing that, which I think is adding to mental health issues, because it can be depressing or what anxiety. I know we're gonna talk about
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
when you be like, I know I should have this thing because I feel this way, and not being able to get that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. That's why self-care look different for everybody, and it is what you need at that moment. It don't if it just needs to be a walk away, that you gotta consider that self-care.
Yeah.
You want I walked away and because these kids or whoever was, getting on my nerves or whatever. I just needed that moment to myself. That you gotta count that as self-care. So it don't, I just want people because at first it was when self-care really came out big, it was, taking time away and going to a spa and go and do this and go and do that. It ain't always about that.
Right.
It ain't always about that. I may not have the time to get in my car and roll out somewhere or whatever, but if I could do a quick walk to the mailbox, you know what I'm saying, which is or walk around my cul-de-sac right quick and then come back in or just step outside, period. That is considered self-care. I ain't had to take nobody out. Everybody is still, breathing. I'm good. Hey. So really look at, um, in your relationships. And I know a lot of a lot of people in relationships, when there's some type of issue or conflict, one of the spouses will walk away. That I couldn't stand that. I can't stand it. Don't walk away from me while we still. But my thing is, uh, like me and Donald always say, where we had to take off our own shoes and put the other person's shoes on. Because let me see where you coming from. And so I feel like if you are both in this marriage, in this relationship, 100, 100, because there ain't no 50-50.
Yeah.
100, 100. And I know that this person truly loves me and is not trying to hurt me, harm me. I should be able to say, well, babe, give me a moment. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear exactly what you're saying. Give me a moment to kind of download what you're saying so I can take time to process and then we come back together. And then let's fix this. Cause the disrespect is to walk away and you don't say nothing.
Yeah.
That's what, and so that being able to, I mean, that's not only communication, respect, that brings you closer, but that is self-care because now your spouse is taking that time away. This gives you time to yourself as well to take time to think, damn, well, I probably didn't have to come off as hard as I did or, whatever. But then, and then when you come back together, now both parties is able to listen. Now we listening with our whole ear and our whole heart versus I got my dukes up, I'm trying to defend myself. Or I'm just trying to tell you, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that. So, yeah.
I won't say I'm guilty of this, but if you think about it, if you go, you tired, you feeling unappreciated, right? Because not taking care of yourself will make you start feeling unappreciated and resentful and everything else. You may cause a disagreement where had you took 5 minutes, like Tony said, walk around the mailbox to breathe and get your own air, the issue may not even be an issue, but because you already on 10,
Yep.
it's an issue.
Yeah.
And like,
Mhm.
I've had to do that. Because for instance, if I go to the store and get dog food, I'm going to get it from the basket to the car.
Yeah.
I think that's as much as I'm going to do. At the day end, the next morning I go to feed the dogs, ain't no dog food in there. And I got a whole attitude because
You forgot.
I went to the store. Why wouldn't you know the dog food was in the car? Now I gotta lug it out the car because the dog starving, the kids starving, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But when I take care of myself,
Yeah.
slow down and breathe,
Yeah.
so from 10 back to my normal level,
Yeah.
shoot him a text when I get home. Hey, hon, when you get home, can you get the dog food out the
Grab
car?
stuff out the car. Right.
Versus me going from You don't even care about. I stand dramatic when I am. You don't even care about everything I do in this house.
Yes, yes. That used to be me. That used to be me in the beginning of me and Donald. Yeah. I used to be a wonder all the time. But he would be on 10.
Right.
He live on 10 compared to 100. He live on 10. And so how can you holler and somebody on 10? And
And
exactly.
you end up feeling bad because you being the ass wife with time that love you with your crazy self. Which is why care is important.
Yes, indeed.
Ruin.
Yes, indeed.
Because you don't know how to come off 100.
Exactly.
That's my 5 cents.
Exactly. That's mine too.
That's
That's
yours
mine
too.
too. Yeah.
Until next time.
Until next time, y'all.